exhibition highlighting the masterpieces of modern Kazakh culture and best theaters went on tour around the world. This time, residents of Avignon, a small town where the Rhone and Durance rivers merge, have an opportunity to enjoy Kazakh performing arts. Avignon is considered to be a cultural and religious center of France. Even nowadays, the old city center is surrounded by a continuous chain of fortress walls erected at the end of the 14th century to protect the residence of the popes, 7 of whom lived here for 70 years. This period of history is named by historians the Avignon captivity of the popes. The city walls have no military significance and play an architectural role, emphasizing the historical appearance of the old city and separating it from modern quarters. Once a year, the city changes beyond recognition. The charm of the architecture of antiquity sinks in a variety of posters, festival events, songs, and fanciful costumes. Narrow streets are filled with the magic of the Avignon Festival. Avignon Festival is the largest and oldest theater platform in Europe. It attracts thousands of theater troupes and tens of thousands of tourists every year. The Theater Festival of Avignon was first organized in the city in 1947 by famous French actor and director Jean Villard, who with his theater company presented a week of dramatic art in September of that year. It was a great success, and from next year, they began to organize theater festivals in the city. The festival traditionally takes place in July and lasts about 20 days. At this time, the entire Avignon becomes one big theater, and the streets become a stage for performance, and every passerby is an involuntary spectator. And Kazakh play will be performed for the first time on its theatrical stage. Just have a look. There are so many posters here. All these people come from so many countries. And imagine, each of them is interesting to the audience. I'm really impressed with this festival. It seems like I am in the world of theater. All these countries represent their theatrical art. We are glad to be here. This is a new stage for our theater and Kazakhstan as a whole. Awez of Kazakh State Academic Drama Theatre was honored to represent the country at the large-scale theatre event this year. Founded in 1925, the National Theatre has been closely associated with famous Kazakh figures and artists such as Serali Kojamkulov, Amre Koshaubayev, Isa Bayzakova, and many others.
Биылғы біздің осында келуіміздің өзі үлкен жетістік Қазақстан үшін, өйткені біздің қазақ театрда.
Our participation in this festival is a great achievement for Kazakhstan because no other theater company from Kazakhstan or even Central Asia took part in the Avignon Festival. This is a major event, and this is only the beginning. Well, one of the country's oldest theaters, Awez of Kazakh State Drama Theatre, became the first to present its production at the festival.
Қазақ театрларының ішіне қазақ өнерінің қара шаңырағы деп айтсам болады, Әуез театры ашты.
Айтулы оқиға десек те болады.
This is a significant event in the history of our country. 2 theaters came from Kazakhstan to Avignon. Awez of Kazakh State Academic Drama Theatre will stage Iran Gayip's Korkit play, and Astana Musical Theatre will present Kiz Jibek production. We are proud and excited at the same time. This is a unique event. The Avignon Festival is one of the most important contemporary performing arts events in the world today. Kazakh Drama Theatre presented Korkit, based on the play of the famous Kazakh playwright Iran Gayip, directed by Lithuanian director Jonas Vaitkus, as part of Avignon Dwarf program. The play was premiered 4 years ago in Almaty. This play made an indelible impression on the audience. It was a huge success. Initially, when we produced this performance in Kazakhstan, of course, everything was completely different because it was aimed at a larger number of actors on a larger stage with other scenery. For example, approximately 40 people are involved in the performance on stage. Unfortunately, we cannot bring the whole team because the stage is very small here. We cut the script as much as possible without losing the main message of the story. Of course, we did not change the production ourselves. We specifically invited director Jonas Vaitkus. He spent 2 days with us. As a result, we discussed and changed some of the scenes. The technical and acting staff went to the site where they will stage 5 performances as soon as they arrived to the theatrical capital. Subtitles are of great importance. The staff faced some difficulties with subtitles while translating the complex text of the play into French language. It was also challenging to set the subtitles on the stage. Adaptation was not an easy thing. The technical preparation of the stage and rehearsals before the most exciting and first day lasted until late at night. But this is just a routine, because the main goal was achieved. And the next day, early in the morning, the actors had to perform on local radio station France Bleu Vaucluse. Right now, the first and oldest theatre of our country will perform a national song on air on the radio station in the city of Avignon, France. Let's go and listen.
Ajalı жетіп өлмесе, ұят беттің пердесі ау, ақылды жанның зердесі, майлы қожа ақынның дыбыратты айтқан.
The company's troupe has a very busy tour schedule. After the performance on the radio, the actors were to dress up in fancy and very warm costumes to go outside and walk along the streets for the next performance. You have no choice. This is more necessary if you participate in such a large-scale event and you need to promote your performance. We are ready to go to the parade. It is 40 degrees Celsius. Our stage costumes are warm as winter ones, but despite this, we are still ready to gather spectators for our performance in Avignon. We are ready to celebrate the event together with the audience.
Fransız elindeki Avignon қаласындағы көрерменді өз спектаклімізге шақыруға, бөлісуге дайынбыз.
Avignon attracts the world's best theaters. This year, more than 1,000 theater companies participate in the festival. There's literally a struggle for the audience from morning till night on the streets of the French town. Avignon Theatre Festival kicks off with a major parade through the streets of the city, and a dance closes the festivities, gathering audiences and performers in a big dance. Some 113 theatrical venues stretch all over the old center, and about 15 performances are staged every day. And how not to get lost in these endless strings of artists singing songs and inviting tourists to visit their theatre?
I think we would like to go, and because your traditional costume and the music really impressed me. Like, I will be curious about it.
The main requirement of the festival is that we invite the public for the performances ourselves. The audience also enjoys the performance while you sing, dance, and perform on the streets and try to attract people's attention. The main mission of this festival is to be close to spectators. When the viewer comes to the play, you need to talk to him or her as if you're alone in the room. It is a fantastic exchange of energy. And today on the streets, we witness an incredible massive exchange of energy with the audience. Even the language barrier is not an obstacle, because art does not need any language. The world of Korkit is displayed on the stage, dedicated to the legend about the life of famous Turkic Akin, which is a poet and folk singer and creator of the musical instrument kobus, Korkit Ata. The performance conveys the sanctity of human life. When a person is so close to nature, he could understand and know how to speak the language of animals and birds. It tells about the difficulty of finding his place in this life. I played the part of death in our Korkit play. This is a slightly frightening role, and I think that every actress will think twice before accepting this role, because the name Death speaks for itself. It is frightening. It was a challenging role for me. When I say some phrases during the play, my heart starts to beat harder. I almost start to live this life and feel the whole atmosphere so close during these 2 to 3 hours before the performance. It becomes so scary. This part was really challenging and exciting for me. I'm incredibly happy to play this role at the festival. Costumes, scenery, light, all these things play a fundamental role. It emphasizes and strengthens the mystical and mysterious atmosphere of the play. But the main cast remains important. It is not a film. Maybe you can play well and tomorrow your performance will be much better. And the day after tomorrow it can be very disappointing. All this depends not only on the mood of the actor, but probably on how it all starts and how it will end. When there are 5 to 6 or 10 to 15 actors on the stage, we need to look after each other and support each other.
Ужым болғаннан кейін 5-6-10-15 актер сахнада жүргеннен кейін міндетті түрде сол бірімізге-біріміз қарауымыз керек.
The performance will begin in a few hours. When the theater opens its doors, everyone will find answers to the questions, both actors and spectators. The audience is anticipating a good play. The play will begin in about 20 minutes. To tell the truth, it seems we are playing it for the first time. It is so exciting. Today we will represent our country. It is a great honor for us. Our performance will be completely different because our task is to present our country from the best angle. We will do our best to achieve this. I played the part of Sarin. This is one of the main roles and I will certainly try very hard. I think that everything will be fine. The audience is quickly filling up the theater. Residents, critics and tourists are attracted by the authentic parade. May the magic of the theater begin. The audience is immersed in this amazing world full of symbolism and sacredness for an hour or so. The world is absolutely different from the everyday life. Music, costumes, actors' performance, atmosphere, and of course the legend itself leave no one indifferent.
Мне очень нравятся актеры. Мне кажется, что вот тот актер, который играет Korkut.
The actors were wonderful. I like the actor who plays Korkut. He's very good. I also enjoyed women's throat singing, especially women who play deaf.
Которые играют смех. И вообще и музыка замечательная. Музыка вот кобыза, да.
The music was amazing. I enjoyed the sound of kobiz, an ancient Kazakh boat instrument. It has only 2 strings, and 2 strings literally can tell the story of death. I've seen such kind of performances for the first time. I am so impressed. It was really incredible.
Это очень красиво, очень красивый образ. А звук замечательно, потому что этот кобыз имеет только 2 струны, и на эти 2 струны можно как это рассказать весь мир. Вот, мне очень нравится.
Très exotique.
The performance was so exotic. I've never seen anything like this before. Your traditions and everything that happened on the stage is absolutely unknown to us. Everything is new. I'm very glad that I came because the actors, costumes and the scenes were just amazing. I really liked it. This is my second foreign performance about funeral. Before that, I watched the Lebanese play about burial somewhere at about 3 in the afternoon. It was also interesting, but there are only 5 artists. Of course, you have more actors on the stage and more scenery and costumes. As for the instruments, they help us to experience this connection between the worlds. I understand how difficult it is to bring such a huge number of people, the whole team, not only actors but also technicians and administrators. And the organizational part of the festival is also very, very challenging. But this is really a good experience, and the cultural exchange that takes place here at the festival is priceless. Every year, the Avignon Festival becomes more and more international. We have theater companies from Italy, Sweden, China, Japan, Taiwan, and Spain. And now Kazakhstan joins this list of participating countries. The actors look tired, but they are absolutely happy. Today we took part in a parade and we promoted Kazakhstan. We promoted our performance. We invited the audience to come to our play. And today it was a sold-out performance. The audience enjoyed the play. The performance was a great success. People gave warm welcome to us. We are tired, but we are proud and happy. These 5 days passed in a bright kaleidoscope of parades, evening performances, and unforgettable emotions of the audience. The unofficial theatrical capital of the world gathered tens of thousands of tourists, actors, theater critics, and producers for 3 weeks. Avignon Festival is truly the most ambitious venue for theater networking. Every year, the major theater festival takes place in one of the French cities. And after watching our performance, a French organizer came up to us and suggested to expand our performance with a foreign program. We could add the Kazakh orchestra, national dances, embroidery, and ethno-village to our folklore ensembles. The organization of the Kazakh culture is really a good idea.
неге қазақ күндерін өткізбеске.
France 2018. Magic sounds of Dombra, a long-necked two-string instrument, songs familiar to each of us from childhood. The oldest theatre company in Kazakhstan finishes its tour to Avignon with warm sadness. We believe that the melody of the Great Steppe will be played more than once along these cozy French streets.